tutorial, I'm going to show you how to interpret the discriminant of the quadratic formula. And if you remember, we found out that the discriminant is actually b squared minus 4ac without the square root symbol. It's just what's inside. And we figured out the discriminant can mean three different things. If your discriminant is greater than 0, then that means that you will have two solutions to that particular quadratic. If the discriminant equals 0, you will have one solution. And if the discriminant is less than 0 or it's negative, that means you're going to have no solutions. And that's a scenario where you're still looking at a parabola, but if it opens up, it's not going to cross the x-axis, so that means the vertex is above. And if it opens down, that means the vertex is below the x-axis. So that's what the discriminant being less than 0 would look like. So we're going to look at a few scenarios, and our job is to determine how many solutions we'll actually get. And we're not going to find those solutions, I just want to know how many there would be. So our first example, we're going to use 3x squared plus 8x plus 7 equals 0. And you always need to ask yourself if the quadratic is set up in the way that it needs to. And that's always ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So in this case, we're good. Our a value is 3, our b value is 8, and our c value is 7. You always need to pay attention to if any of those are positive or if they're negative. In this case, they're all positive. So for our discriminant, b squared minus 4ac, we have b squared, which is going to be 8 squared, so it's 64, minus 4 times 3 times 7. And just like you would if you were just simplifying anything in general, you need to use order of operations. So we would first do 4 times 3 times 7, which is going to be 84. So we're going to do 64 minus 84, which gives us our discriminant is negative 20. Since it's a negative number, that means that I wouldn't be able to do the entire problem, because picture the whole problem. Negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac, so in that case it's negative 20, all divided by 2a. You can't take the square root of a negative number, so you wouldn't be able to finish this problem. So that's why there's no solution here. We could look at a problem that has, let's see, x squared plus 2x minus 3 equals 0. Again, it's in the form I need. In this case, b squared minus 4ac, it would be b squared, which is 4, minus 4 times 1 times negative 3. 4 times 1 is 4, times negative 3 is negative 12, but 4 minus a negative 12 is the same thing as 4 plus 12. So in this case, our discriminant would be 16, which means there would be two solutions. Because when you do this problem, negative b plus or minus the square root of 16 over 2a, you know the square root of 16 is something that you can find, so you would be able to do negative b plus that number divided by 2a and negative b minus that number divided by 2a. So that's why there's two solutions. And lastly, if we look at 4x squared plus 20x plus 25 equals 0, b squared, so we would have 20 squared, which is 400, minus 4 times a, which is 4, times c, which is 25. 4 times 25 is 100, times 4 is 400. 400 minus 400 is 0. So in this case, you would have negative b plus or minus the square root of 0 over 2a. The square root of 0 is just 0. So if you add it or if you subtract it, it's the same thing. That's why you would only have one solution. So that's how you would interpret the discriminant.